Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've been on here on YouTube, but it's one of my main goals of 2026 to get my content that's been doing very well on TikTok and Instagram on here on YouTube. It's way more suited to a long format. I always struggle to keep it inside 3 minutes. So today's video is how to make maximum progress in minimum time as a Gaelic footballer. Your New Year's resolution is to have the best season of your life, to get in the best shape of your life. How do you make maximum progress? 100 days, no excuses. From tomorrow, January 12th, 2026 to the 21st of April is exactly 100 days. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of Gaelic footballers over the last 16 years get in the best shape of their life, have their best ever season. These are the exact methods I've used. I've dozens of case studies, dozens of testimonials, and I managed and coached in Mayo at senior level for 10 years. Now today's video is maximum progress in minimum time. It's no excuses. It's not how to fit in going on the beer and making progress, or how to fit in loads of other situations that inevitably come up in your life. This is how to fully lock in maximum progress in minimum time. No excuses. The excuses will always be there. This is a period, like I've helped so many Gaelic footballers with in the past, where they put those excuses to one side and fully focus, and they get the rewards for it. It takes time, but you do get the rewards from it, and it's one of the best decisions you'll ever make in your life and in your Gaelic football career. So the way we're going to do it, the way I'm talking about in this video, was from when I was managing at senior level in Mayo and coaching at senior level in Mayo. And my goal with every player was to get them to have the best season of their life. That's the goal I set for myself every single year as coach, as manager. I wanted them to play their best ever football of their career under me, and I succeeded with that many times. You could ask the players themselves. So to get each player to their absolute peak, to get them playing better than they ever had before, I broke it down into 4 areas, and I'd look at each individual player and say, okay, which of the 4 does he need to work on the most? Because you want to make progress on all 4 of them. And also I found that strength training and conditioning, how strong you were, how lean you were, how fit you were, that had the biggest influence on the other 4. So the 4 areas to massively improve your game in 2026: become a guaranteed starter, get onto the county panel, get player of the season, player of the year, strength training and conditioning, tactical awareness, skills, and mental toughness or psychology. So all 4 of them are crucial for you to have your best ever season. But what I found in thousands of training sessions and preparing teams for hundreds of games at senior level is that if you get your strength training and conditioning right, that has a massive impact on your tactical awareness and your confidence, because if you get very fit, very strong, you're going to have a huge impact on the games tactically. You see this at intercounty level all the time. When a young player comes into the panel, he can't make the team, he gets way stronger, way fitter, and he's a way bigger tactical impact. When you're stronger and more conditioned, your skills improve. Strength and conditioning has a huge impact on your ability to enforce your skills or implement your skills at a high level on the pitch, in training sessions and in games. And in training sessions, you have to play well to get on the team in the first place. And then finally, mental toughness psychology. Hard runs in the old school sense, tough physical training builds mental toughness. But it's not just the hard runs. Hard stretching sessions, stretching and flexibility can be mentally tough. If you've ever done a long lunge, you'll know about that. Running sessions, gym work, it's all massively impacting your mental toughness and your psychology. Plus, the more that you train physically, the harder it is for you to give in when things get tough in training sessions and matches. Everyone will know what that feels like. When you feel like you're 100% ready to play because you have yourself in prime physical condition, your confidence goes through the roof and you become way mentally tougher because you just don't give in. You know you can keep going and going. Another very obvious example of this that all of you will be able to relate to, you'll see it playing for your clubs or for intercounty every single year, is maybe you have a guy who's older, he's played intercounty before, his skills are excellent, his mental toughness is super, his tactical awareness is absolutely excellent, but his legs are going. Unfortunately, he's hit that age where his legs are going, he hasn't the pace, he hasn't the box to box that he used to, and he can't be as tactically effective He can't implement his skills at a high level. Let's say if shooting, for example, he simply just can't get his way away from his man to get the shot away. And his mental toughness, his psychology, he doesn't make the hard runs, the defensive runs, because he simply can't get back, not because he doesn't want to. So if you sort your strength training and conditioning, you're massively going to impact your way of playing at the highest level in all aspects of your game. So before we move on from that, 10 or 20% progress, 20% would be massive, but 10% progress on your strength training and your conditioning, on your tactical awareness, on your skills, and on your mental toughness is going to make you a way better player. It's going to line you up to have the best season you've ever had in your life. And if you think to your own club or your own county in the last year who had an amazing season, you can probably look at they were 10 to 20% better on these different metrics last season compared to other years when they weren't playing so well, when they weren't having such a key impact on your team. So to get you physically in the best shape of your life in a way that massively impacts your ability on the pitch, I like to break it down into 4 key areas to get you stronger than ever, leaner than ever, more flexible than ever, and more energy than ever. And I'll go through the 4 of those in detail. Also at the bottom here I have psychology, because physical transformation is mental transformation disguised as a physical one. You cannot become way better physically without getting a lot stronger mentally, and I'm going to cover how the psychology will affect the training and how the training will affect the psychology briefly at the end. But we'll focus on stronger, leaner, more flexible, and more energy than ever. So to put some numbers on it, if you were to lose 10 to 15 kg of body fat and you built 3 to 5 kg of muscle in the next 100 days, you would be a completely different animal. You'd be able to play so many more positions. Your confidence would be through the roof. And it's a very realistic goal. I've helped hundreds of players achieve exactly that. Last year I helped more players do it than ever before in one single year. To get stronger than ever, I have strength targets on the 8 main compound lifts that I use with my clients. These are the foundational strength training movements, and I have them relative to your body weight. So if you can hit these strength targets relative to a 75 kg Gaelic footballer, an 80 kg Gaelic footballer, or an 85 kg Gaelic footballer, remember strength, it's crucial that you're talking about strength relative to your body weight. You can have a smaller guy, maybe like Johnny McGrath in Galway, in the Hessian and Mayo, or Ona Mercon. They're smaller, but their strength relative to their body weight is huge. Something I was talking about during the week to a client was someone like Ian Burke in Galway, or the Gooch, or Jamie Clark in Armagh. People drastically underestimate how physically strong these guys are. Just because they're not massively built, maybe like a Conor O'Callaghan, they are extremely strong relative to their body weight. You'll have some bigger guys then who might look like a rugby back, and they're actually quite weak relative to their body weight. Their body weight is up towards 90, 95. They're carrying plenty of extra body fat, and it's easy enough to knock them over. You've probably marked some of these guys in the past where you thought he looked massive or physically strong, and he wasn't that way at all in the tackle. And then you saw a smaller guy, you thought, I'm going to knock this guy off the ball, and he's extremely strong and extremely powerful. So relative to your body weight is crucial. I have the bonus lifts here as well. The bonus lifts are absolutely crucial. These are very realistic targets for every single one of my clients in 3 to 6 months. Pay close attention to them, and these should completely be your focus when it comes to your strength training sessions in the gym. How you split it up in terms of upper body, lower body, or full body, push-pull legs. Unfortunately, some Gaelic footballers are still doing that when they, you probably shouldn't be doing push-pull legs if you're an athlete on the pitch. So the guys that I train when they're off the pitch in the off season, they're usually doing either full body or upper lower 4 times per week, so 2 uppers and 2 lowers per week. Or in season they'll be doing 2 uppers and 1 lower per week, or else 1 lower body, 1 upper body, and 1 full body. So 3 pitch sessions and 3 gym sessions, 1 day of total rest. The sessions are 45 minutes to an hour, and we're really focusing on those strength targets relative to your body weight. And remember, with those strength targets, they're year-round, full range of motion, pain-free. Okay, so it's not just to be able to hit those strength targets. They're not once in the off season you do a day of testing and you hit the targets and you let them completely fall away during the season. These are ones for year-round 6 to 8 reps, and then the higher rep ones on the bonus lifts. And you have to be doing them full range of motion, no half squats, no 90-90 split squats, full range of motion, pain-free. The second part of getting you in your best shape of your life is leaner than ever. So you can only get leaner in 2 ways. Increasing the amount of muscle mass you have, reducing the amount of fat you have, or both at the same time. That is the only way that you can get leaner. Getting lean is absolutely crucial. Inter-county players are a lot leaner than club players, and that's one of the main differences. Because they're so lean, they are way, way fitter. If you are not lean, you can not miss one of the pitch sessions with your club all year long. You're not going to get fit. If you're carrying 20-25% body fat, you train every single week, 3 times a week. You train as hard as you can. You will not get fit. So getting leaner than ever is mainly due to nutrition. Obviously exercise will help that as well, but it's mainly due to nutrition. But there'll be someone else on the panel or who has been on your team for the last few years. He's missed half the sessions every year. Every time he comes back, he's flying fit. Why is he flying fit? Because he's lean. Okay, so if you are not lean, you're not going to be athletic. You're not going to be of any value to the team. Plus, it's different in county football. Maybe it's different in the forward line or in a full forward line. People might not mind being an impact sub at a county panel or a corner forward, something like that. But for most players, it's a complete disaster to be on the bench. And if you are not lean, you're on the bench. Your manager, your coach is going to look at you and say he's good for 20 minutes, he's good for 15 minutes. After that, he's gassed. We're going to have to pull him at half time, or else we're going to leave him till the second half. That is not what any player wants. When I talk to them at the start of the season, the ones I've coached as a manager myself, or the ones that I'm coaching currently and online, no player wants to be an impact sub. The number one way to stop yourself being considered as a sub all year long is to get yourself lean. So for the guys who need to lose 10 to 15 kg of body fat and have enough energy for your pitch sessions and your gym sessions, I would usually have them on 2,000 to 2,500 calories and 200 grams of protein. That is absolutely crucial. That is your 80-20 when it comes to getting lean. Your calories, you track them consistently even at the weekends, and you hit your protein target. If you do that, you're going to get lean. Now, in my experience, fellas generally feel even better when they feel healthier and their digestion is better. So that's going to be massively impacted by unprocessed versus processed food. Now, a slice of bread or two isn't going to kill you. It's processed food, bit of bread, whatever. When I talk about processed food, that's you want to be steering away from if you want high energy levels and low body fat and good digestion. I mean, like your fast foods, your takeaways, your super processed sweets, even things like protein bars and protein yogurts. Okay, they might be better than a dairy milk, but you want to be sticking as much as possible to unprocessed foods. So that is meat, fish, fruits, vegetables, nuts. That's what you want to be sticking to. 80-90% of your weekly calories, especially if you're trying to do it quickly in 100 days, needs to come from unprocessed whole foods. And finally, on leaner than ever, one thing is going to completely write off you getting lean quickly, and that's alcohol. If you're drinking alcohol every single week, forget about it. I'm 16 years coaching now. I've never seen one person drink alcohol every single weekend and be fit and play good football. So if you want to get lean quickly, I suggest going from now, tomorrow, the 12th of January, all the way to the 21st of April, 0 alcohol. It will completely transform your energy levels. It'll make your nutrition way, way better. And it'll also make getting to the gym and getting on the pitch consistently without any breaks far, far easier. The number one thing you have to do as a Gaelic footballer, if you want to make the team, isn't go to the gym. The number one thing you have to do is be on the pitch for the 3 sessions a week. The more sessions you miss, the less chances you have of starting, and more importantly, the less chances you have of playing well. The more of the group pitch sessions that you miss, the less the likelihood of you playing well. And you have to tattoo that in your brain. If you're missing loads of pitch sessions, you are going to play badly. And drinking alcohol and having extra body fat just makes you a way worse athlete, and it's going to make the chances of you getting injured far, far higher too. So number 1 and 2 is stronger than ever and leaner than ever. Then we're moving on to number 3, which is more flexible than ever. Now 80-20 of flexibility for Gaelic footballers, in my experience, is simply stretching your hip flexors, which with the couch stretch, and hanging from a pull-up bar. If you can do those 2 things well, the rest of flexibility, okay, it needs to be taken care of, but it's so much easier. If you're trying to train with the main strength training exercises, full range of motion, pain-free, hit these strength targets. What you really, really need to focus on is your hip flexors being flexible, because it's going to make your glutes and hamstrings work way harder. It's going to increase your range of motion on the squats and split squats, and hanging from a pull-up bar. It's going to improve your posture and your shoulder health. It's going to affect all upper body techniques. So make sure when it comes to flexibility, you do those 2 basics well: hip flexors and hanging from a pull-up bar. After that, just training with full range of motion in season is going to keep you flexible and even make you more flexible. So strength training itself, as long as you're doing full range of motion, is going to make you very, very flexible. There's huge problems with Gaelic players that I deal with all the time. The last few seasons, they've been doing hex bar squats, they've been doing box squats, they've been doing 90-90 split squats from Mike Boyle style programs in season. Hips get brutally tight, and then they get stuck in this rehab, prehab, trying to get things right for 2 weeks, trying to get things right for 3 weeks, hoping the hamstring or whatever it is doesn't go, and they never fully strength train in season. Full range of motion, pain-free strength training is going to keep you injury-free. It's going to keep you flexible, and it is flexibility work, training with full range of motion. After that, your calves and ankles is very common that guys need work with these. So you need strong calves, and you need to be doing your tibialis raises. If you want the muscles above your knee to be healthy, the muscles below your knee have a big impact on that. So tibialis and calf raises, don't skip them. And there's 2 brutally tough exercises that are absolutely amazing for hip flexibility. One is called the long lunge, and one is called the horse stance. You might not have seen them before. They're from gymnastics, hand balancing, Olympic weightlifting. They use them a lot. Also, a lot of wrestlers use them. They're very simple and very, very hard. But the good thing about both of these exercises is even if you're starting off super, super tight in the groins or the hip flexors and hamstrings, you can just start off at an easier stance and keep working your way out through season. But they are a cheat code for massively improving the health and flexibility of your hips. And finally, more energy than ever. So more energy than ever, whether that's like a bronco test, whether it's a bleep test, these are all great tests to do. Lovely to have a nice competitive edge across the panel, who's the best on the running test. But I just describe more energy than ever is how motivated and focused you are day to day. Do you feel healthy? Do you wake up every morning with a fucking hard on, number 1, because that's what you should do if your testosterone is high enough? Do you wake up feeling healthy, energized, or are you stuck to the bed? Do you need an alarm? Do you need someone to drag you out of the bed? Energy is also, what is your mood and concentration like during the day? Are you pretty focused? Are you pretty happy with life? When you walk into the dressing room in the evening, are people like, Jesus Christ, this lad has such a heavy energy? Comes into the room and no one wants to talk to him. Energy is so fucking contagious, and all the winning teams, if you study them, they usually have this one character or maybe small group of characters that are just bursting with energy, super competitive, super motivated, want to be the best at every single strength test. The people that I really admire, that we all really admire and read about. So how to get more energy than ever is going to be massively dependent on your recovery. And your recovery, if you break it down, is just going to be sleep and nutrition. Now, one thing fucks up your recovery more than anything else: alcohol. Okay, so alcohol fucks up sleep and alcohol fucks up nutrition. Nutrition, the most important things is calories and protein intake. Alcohol, you drink alcohol, the calories are going to be way out of whack. And also your protein intake, you're eating fruits, vegetables, the quality of the foods, Anyone who drinks alcohol is either going to eat shite that day or that day and the day after. I always found as a GA coach, the fellas who drank the most alcohol were the most delusional. They would be completely delusional when it came to why am I not playing, why am I not starting. They'd be 20-25% body fat, drinking every weekend, and completely unaware of how low their energy was and how unfit they were and how much their alcohol intake was impacting them and the rest of the team. Also, alcohol absolutely smashes your sleep. So your nutrition and your sleep are wiped. If you have a Whoop, you'll have seen, okay, anytime I drink alcohol, it's a 1% recovery. Completely destroys your HRV. Sleep is crucially important for testosterone and for growth hormone release, which are crucial for building muscle and losing fat quickly. So if you want to make progress very, very quickly, building muscle and losing fat, alcohol has to go, or it has to be cut down to an absolute minimum. And then also with energy levels, screen time is crucial. Now, not just screen time, the type of screen time that you're watching. So I have a rule with my clients: if they're trying to improve their sleep and the phone is still in the room within touching distance, they're not trying to improve their sleep. They haven't even began trying, okay? So there's no such thing as saying, I'm trying to improve my sleep, but a supercomputer is within hand's distance away from my face. Absolutely not. If the phone isn't still in the room, you haven't even tried improving your sleep, and your sleep quality is terrible. So that's going to massively impact your energy levels. Keep the phone out of the room and don't look at the screen for the first hour of the day. This is well studied. I did it last year and it made a huge impact on my mood and concentration during the day. So before we talk about bonus territory, which is the psychology, if you get leaner than ever, stronger than ever, more flexible than ever, and more energy than ever, it's going to massively impact all parts of your game. It's going to make you a way better footballer. It's going to make you the coach's, the manager's favorite. These are the players I fucking loved dealing with. The fellas who were taking care of this stuff. They're a pleasure to work with. And then the opposite of that, the fellas who didn't take care of this stuff, skipped legs all season, went on the beer, just talked negatively and were energy vampires. They were a disaster to deal with. So you have a conscious choice to make. Do you want to be one of the guys driving the standards up, or do you want to be one of the guys just pulling away from the group and being a complete disaster and a destructive force in the panel? So when it comes to psychology, to implement this stuff, or just psychology, mental toughness for playing the game at a high level, I love the quote from Hardy Books.
You have to be there in the mind before you go there in the body. You're not there in the mind.
Now, how do you put yourself there in the mind? I've used these with a lot of top players who've played inter-county for a few different counties. I've helped them change their mindset or improve their mindset and their mental toughness so that they can implement these other things. So I'm going to share that with you now, and it's going to massively help you over the next 100 days. Change your mindset and make this dramatic physical and mental transformation. The first thing is energy vampires. RTE, BBC, CNN, Fox News, basically any of the mainstream media outlets, ban them. You do not watch mainstream news. The job of mainstream news is to make every single problem that's going on in the world your problem, okay? It's very biased, no matter what side you're on politically. It's horrible to listen to. It's very triggering. It takes your mind off the present moment. It takes you away from present state awareness, from someone like Tom Brady or Michael Jordan, just unbelievable present state awareness. The news, mainstream news, it just takes you away from all that. Also, any people who annoy you online, just block them. And if you feel a little bit bad from unfollowing people, you can ban them without them knowing it. I'm pretty sure there's settings on most of the social medias. But anyone who annoys you, anyone you look at and you say, what are they talking about? Maybe it's me for some of you. Just block them, cut them out completely, and that's online. In real life, you might be unlucky here. It might be, a parent, it might be a brother or a sister, it might be your girlfriend. You have to really think about how much are they always complaining and poor me attitude. Everything is negative about the team. Everything is a conspiracy against you. Everything was a conspiracy against them. Everything is just negative all the time. These type of people will suck the life out of you. Okay, and they'll be on your panel too. Usually every single panel in Ireland has a few characters that are extremely difficult to deal with, and they're energy vampires. And how you manage your own psychology to make sure you're not affected by them is absolutely crucial. So have a good think about that. Have a ruthless cut of the panel. So all top panels will cut the panel. You need to cut the panel of your life so that you're surrounded by positive people. You only get a fucking few years at this. You only get a few cracks at playing for your club in championship, or if you're even luckier, inter-county. Okay? Be absolutely ruthless with anyone who's going to bring the vibe down, drain your energy, and have your mind racing with negative thoughts. The second thing, so once you cut out all the shite and the negative voices and the negative media and things like that, how do you fill your mind up with positive things? So I'm going to give you a list of documentaries, books, and podcasts. Now I could do a full other video. I probably will do a full on other video on this, just the psychology part of it. But if you start cutting out the energy vampires and the negative talkers and the negative media, and you start implementing listening to podcasts, reading books, and filling time watching documentaries instead of the news, your mind will start switching to a place where it's probably never been before, where you're going to start feeling ultra confident in your ability to do very, very hard things. Listen to a few fucking Navy SEALs, listen to a few top sports people, watch their documentary, listen to their mindset. You're going to absorb it. And unfortunately, you absorb the negativity too if you allow yourself to do that. So what you want to do is shift your focus towards positive people who you love being around and listening to them in the media, reading books instead of constantly doom scrolling. Your mind's going to be in a far, far better place, and you're going to deal with the struggle of implementing this stuff far better. So to finish up on today's video, getting in the best shape of your life in 100 days is fucking hard, lads. It's fucking very, very tough. It's brutally tough. It's very challenging. It's going to test you in a way you've never been tested before. But if you have a history of playing Gaelic football, you've done plenty of tackling drills, you've done plenty of hard running before, you can do it. It's probably not as hard as that stuff, but it is very, very challenging. What I tell my clients is it's very simple. There's lots of stupid people with six packs, okay? They're no smarter than you. They have a six pack, they're in amazing shape, they're playing county football. It's more about habits and discipline than you need to be very, very smart. That can be confusing because online you've all these jargon when it comes to losing fat and building muscle and being athletic. You don't need any of it. Just the basics that I've talked about in this video is going to get you in incredible shape. Way better than 99% of footballers. But don't let anyone tell you that that's easy. It's very, very difficult. It's very, very tough. You're going to be shit at some exercises. You're going to be very, very poor at certain stretches when you start them. They'll be painful and awkward. You're going to be terrible at tracking calories. Like once you start tracking calories, you realize, okay, this takes a little bit of skill, a little bit of work. You don't have to be smart to do it. Again, plenty of people who aren't geniuses track calories, but it takes a bit of getting used to. It's going to take discipline to leave your phone down and pick up a book instead, or watch some documentaries instead of watching the news. But all of these things that really challenge you are going to change you. They're going to grow you into a different person and grow you into a more mature man and a better footballer. So to finish on today's video, I'd say push through. It's fucking hard, but 100 days, no excuses. You have from now until maybe the 21st of April, no excuses. No excuses. You have 100 days. 100 out of 100 means 100 days of progress. Not 100 days of perfection. Nobody's going to get every single day perfect, every single session perfect. And you don't need to make progress. But you can show discipline every day, and you can show hard work every day. And you can show a desire to improve and get better a little bit mentally and physically every day for 100 days. Every day you drink alcohol is a failure for me. So if you get 95 out of 100, that's pretty good. If you do 10 days drinking out of the next 100, you're not going to get any special results, in my opinion. So, okay, I would prefer if you give up alcohol completely for the 100 days. If you only have 1 or 2 nights out, good for you. Remember, everyone wants to party anyway in the summer. That's the time I would be using my new fitness, my new physique, and I'd be saying, okay, I'm going to wait till the summer this year and I'm going to lock in all the way till late April, early May. That's personally what I'm doing for the next 100 days, or until June, my birthday. I'm going to be locking in maybe 2-3 nights out before my birthday in June. I know what this is like. I've done it tons of times before, and I can't wait to do it again because I know how good it feels on the other side of all the progress that you've got from locking in. Best of luck with it. Any questions, send them on. I'm Kevin Welsh. Thanks for watching and Happy New Year. Let's go.